Whoa. Evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The cold weather has finally arrived. I'm here with my, hang on, frosty light counterparts. Andy is with me tonight. We are hoping we might get Gavin in a minute. He's been mental busy at the moment, and Herbie may also drop in. But anyway, yeah, let's get off these gloves. And I do love this Argyle hat. And at the moment,
Suits
no,
you,
there
sir.
isn't a Block 9 one incoming at the moment. So, anyway, plenty of time for that later. So, football's back. Yeah, it's been a good little break, I think, for everybody, mentally, physically, and keeping yourselves busy, hopefully. Evening to you all there. I can see a few of you in the chats there. We've got PTR47GY, evening to you. Good to see you in. Harry Vanzino is in as well. SRHW5EO, don't recall seeing you in, so welcome if it is your first time. CJ there as party gamer boy who can't spell evening. Paul Bailey's in as well. Good to see you. Yeah, so Andy, welcome back. You know, it's been a nice little break, isn't it?
It has been a great break. Yeah, it's been a funny break. I don't know what's going on with my background here, but it's a bit weird in a minute. But anyway, I can still see you. I need to do something about these backgrounds, mate, don't I? Yeah, all good, mate. I've had a cold for the last week, so I'm a bit sort of a minute. But
That's
yeah,
why you're looking all weird on your image
yeah.
on your camera
I
there.
look like this all the time, mate.
So have you been up to much of what have you been trying to do to keep yourself busy and your mind off the dross that has been the football for the past 5
Oh,
away
do you know
games?
what? Just recovering from this cold has been enough. I got a feeling it might have been flu, but I might be wrong. But it's really hit me for six, this one. So getting out today with the dog was really nice. Getting out and doing some exercise, that was brilliant. Oh, what's going on with my head? Yeah, all good.
Yeah, so if it's not, folks, those of you that watched long enough, if it's not me with the sound issues generally borne out on the watch-alongs, then it's Andy with his backgrounds.
It's me with my tech and all that sort of stuff.
They
Rubbish.
do say, never. What was it? It's hard to teach old dog new tricks,
Oh, this
Andy.
old dog. This, this
So
old dog needs some new tricks, mate.
yeah, well, you got. Are you on your new computer yet, or are you on your MacBook?
No, I'm not, at the minute. I'm on my MacBook, yeah, AirPods. Well, I forget what
MacBook
it's called.
Air. Right, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
you
all
know
it
what I'm
is.
talking
Yeah,
about. I don't
that's
even know
what
what
it.
I'm talking about. My brain's fried.
Yeah, we've been riddled with that cold. Just
Yeah.
seeing, got Simon Fort in, who's a Reading fan. We've had Mike, who lives in Plymouth, who's from Reading and has been listening in as well over the past couple of shows, who's enjoyed them, which is really good. So I'm sure we might see him pop in. We've also got Jonathan Rocky. Evening, Jonathan. He said, evening all. Been listening for months but never commented before. Love the pod. Definitely get commenting, Jonathan. Share your thoughts, and people will respond to that. They can see your comments on our show in the as they feed through. That's what we like to do. But yeah, what have I been up to myself? Busy with work. We've had a lot going on. It's peak Christmas trade. For every retailer. For those that don't know, I work at the Range head office, but it's. I do love this time of year, and from a buyer's perspective, having done seasonal for many years in that role, I don't do that now. But you're buying for Christmas in advance. I used to do a lot of the chocolate and confectionery and all that stuff for a long time. So you get to, as Christmas finishes, you're planning in for the new season next year, believe it or not, with Easter coming in. So you get to feel it all year round, which I don't know, I just love it. I love the festive time. So it's been busy there. And also we're hopefully going to get some carpet delivered soon and we can finish our lounge off before Christmas. So that DIY will then be done. So trying to keep myself occupied. Of course, I've been thinking about bits and pieces, but not too much Argyle related. It was tough, wasn't it, Andy? Those 5, and obviously it's our 6th and final away game. On the bounce. So, and it's a tough one. I mean, it's Port Vale. We're both down there. Peterborough, are they still winning at the moment tonight as well? They're playing Stockport. So,
Been tough
and there's
for Tom,
obviously a
isn't it?
new man at the helm, isn't there, as well, or director of football, Andy?
Yeah, Derek Adams is back at the club, thankfully. I've got a good feeling about this because I think clubs will get on well with him, and I don't think he'll mind, judging from the presser to date, that he's going to cause too much problem there. He's going to be there to help him initially. So that's all good news. And if you can get Cleves to turn it around, then all better for us. I just think he needs that little bit of stability in the background. There's someone to sort of, point out the things that could go wrong or, possibly go right even, and try to work on it and implement it. So.
Yeah, well, we'll come on to that. Obviously, it was a press conference today. Derek Adams was obviously started on Monday officially, on Monday last week. No, Monday, was it last week or this week? I lose track. But they had a meeting last week, didn't they? So obviously he's in full flow as director of football this week. Just PTR. I did see bits of the article on the BBC one, which was written by Joe Bell, and there's a lot of good points in there. I didn't get a chance to go through it fully, so let us know your thoughts there. But yeah, you can go and check that article out. Voodoo is dropped in tonight. Knew he was going to be on, and I've got a nice little surprise. So, you know what I'm like with my merchandise, and if you don't see me talking about it or hear me, mugs. To the hoodies. Well, I had a little bit of a play with some graphics while I was off. So, if you can, hang on, let me just angle the camera down.
Available in all stores.
There we go. So I've got Voodoo All Things Argyle t-shirt. Now the bottle of wine relates to some banter. For those of you that have been long in with us long enough, Gavin, who hopefully might get in, but he has been at it full on. So he's fine if he needs to get on with that. But he has a diamond membership, so. He does all the wining and dining. It's a brilliant experience when he's taking me to that as well. So we joke about it, and Voodoo likes his wine, especially his Chateau Lafite. But we thought I'd do a bit of a joke, and this bottle of wine here says what does it say now? The Diamond Collection, Voodoo Vineyards, and the bin number is my seat at Home Park. But if anybody's interested, if you really would want a Voodoo t-shirt, then just hit me up in the DMs and I'll see what I can do. So, so let's get back to the football talk, shall we now? So, Mike, I work down the road from you. If this weather keeps up, we'll sort a snowball fight out. Love it. So that's good. Alex at Argyle, it could be worse injury-wise, considering how it's been going this season. Only one injury could be worse. Well, that Ibrahim injury, we'll come on to it in a minute, was a little bit of a disaster and disappointing to say the least. And he's never had an injury, Andy, in his career.
Totally out of the blue, and it's another freak incident, isn't it? It's one of those other freak incidents. Ankle injury, apparently. And
possibly, I think broken in that sense. But we'll come on to that. Just read a few more comments out that have gone through. Peterborough 2-0 up now as Paul's given us the live score updates. So thanks for that, Paul. So obviously that's so far lifting them out, I think, at the bottom. Simon Ford, you were speaking about our players speaking to ex-footballers, and Adam comes in. Do they listen to the pod? Who knows? I think some may do, and even into anybody that at the club that do. The Van Zeno says, hoping the weather clears up before I make the trip from St Austell on Saturday. Yeah, I think tomorrow morning it might be chilly, but I believe it's clearing up for Saturday, so you should be good for that journey. Another one who's travelling all these miles to watch the game. What else have we got on here? Love the podcast, says Matt Montgomery. Appreciate that. And Peter Henwood saying, just confirming that the Posh are 2 up. And I think, Peter, is that you I've been chatting to on Messenger? So if it is just before the pod, we were having a little bit of a chat, then, good to see you in. So, the presser, should we get on with that? So, let me switch to... I got a few slides. I said to the guys I wasn't going to do too many, but I've got a few, because once you're used to doing it, you just do it. So, a few snippets. So, he was talking about, Port Vale at times as well, of course, in that presser. He watched them in their last game, obviously, while we had the international break. Port Vale typically begin games with high intensity, looking their best when the pace is rapid. Aggressive pressure, they are content to let the opposition hold possession, then apply aggressive pressure to win the ball back. Defensive mindset, their tactical approach means their opponents must be wary of sudden and aggressive turnovers. So he's picked up on that when they do tend to let the team have the opposition have the ball, and then they try and catch you on the break. So it's going to be an interesting one. The big news, though, whether you want to look at it as my son tries to get a packet of crisps out, and I've never heard something make so much noise. Bless him. Team news and injuries. So, Pleguezuelo, Amiechi, Rules and Edwards and Benarous have returned to training and available for travel. However, Ibrahim did suffer, and again, it's another one of these, Andy, freak incidents. So supposedly, Cleverley said he got his foot caught in the turf, and a challenge sort of came in, and it sounds like he's broken his ankle more than anything.
Mate, it's terrible, isn't it? It's just all like this season, isn't it? We've been ravaged with injuries all the way through this season. We've got 5 players coming back, thankfully, including Pleggy and Amici, which could be for the Northampton game. It's terrible. There's no consistency with the team at the minute. There's chopping and changing every week.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that there's a number of players about to come back. I mean, obviously, Pleggy was earlier than expected. Amiechi, I can't remember if he was slightly earlier than anticipated, but we desperately need someone like Pleggy's experience and quality in defence to help the lads. And so, getting a few players back is good. Looking forward to that. And Rules, who we haven't seen yet, obviously picked up the odd knock. I think he cleverly said, listening to that interview tonight, that he missed a couple of sessions because of picking up stuff. But, he should be good, mate. Sorry?
A few aches and pains, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't know if he'll start the game, but or see any of the game. But he said, taking him with them and being in the dressing room makes a big difference. So, looking forward to getting some of these players back. So it will mean that there's probably going to be some reshuffling going on, that's for sure, from Cleverley. Let me just go back to the slide. Derek's impact. Now, this obviously, with his appointment, there's the camp that feel that he's come in just to effectively force Cleverley out. I gave my views on it on the last show, and I firmly stand by the fact that he is there to support Cleverley and get through this difficult situation. Will that turn things around on Saturday? We'll get into that in a minute, but straight away they're in there having a meeting, having the meetings, and sort of Cleverley said and express positive first impressions, highlighting some strong personal connections and alignment with on technical aspects. So for those where it might worry the style of football that we might suddenly start playing, but effectively, I don't know. I felt, Andy, that he seems really welcoming of Derek Adams, and when you're going through a tough spell, you do, and people have said, and we said on the show, he does need some proper support. He's got the likes of Nance and his own backroom staff, but when you're a manager in these positions, it is different, and he's really focused on that. And I like the fact that he almost insisted, really, that he wants to see Derek Adams, come onto the training pitch and see what they're up to. Give some suggestions. He seems more than open to that. And I get from his body language. Overall, I thought on the presser, he looked a lot more relaxed, a bit more probably, it hasn't been tense game after game. But I think it's positive in his reception to Derek Adams, Andy.
Yeah, definitely. I was just going to say that he looked a lot more relaxed in the presser, and he seemed very, very welcoming of Derek, didn't he? And I don't think there's any threat that Derek's going to take his job at all. I think he's there to steady the ship and point him in the right direction, iron out a few things that aren't right, and get the club going forward again. And that's the ideal, I think. There was a talk about him being responsible for recruitment as well, which is good. Yeah. Takes a lot of pressure off Clevs, but he's going to be involving him in that. Of course, he's going to involve him in it, and Foxy. So you've got 3 of them there now, sort of looking at players, and they've already sort of highlighted they've got some targets for January. So see what comes.
I think so. Yeah, so on the recruitment side, so this is a meeting they had. I think it was last Wednesday. Is that right? I'm trying to get my bearings right. I'm all over the show, but it was a day or two after the last the Rovers game, wasn't it? And there was Tom Cleverley, of course, Derek Adams, David Fox, and Paul Byrne, and there. I think it's one of those. There was a rumor that Fox and Cleverley had a bust up over recruitment, or had a bust up in this meeting. Things are going really tough, you're all going to be on the defensive because people are looking for scapegoats, and you want to try and defend. I suppose if you're Cleverley, your situation, and Fox, no doubt, defending his position on the recruitment side. And actually, for me, I imagine with Derek Adams' sort of type of personality, Paul Byrne going in there and like this being a whole new environment and experience for him. But I would be going in there and saying, right, cards on the table, right, and get it all off your chest. Right, we are in the shit. Yeah, performances haven't been great. Quality's been noted. Recruitment's been moaned at. We're getting injuries. Right, okay, so David, what's your thoughts on this? Tom's, what's your thoughts on this? And you want people to get things off their chest, or I would, because you want to get everything out. Right, how they're feeling. Right, now clear the decks then. We're starting afresh. What are we now going to do, and how do we want to plan this? And I think for me, Andy, that's what you want to do. I wouldn't have expected Derek to go in and go, yeah, you've been absolutely crap at your bit. You've been rubbish at your bit. Right, I'm going to tell you what to do. The most important thing for me that you can do is sit there and listen first, and then give your view.
Yeah, it's all about good management, isn't it? It's all about getting your team together. You probably find that in your job, Mike. Probably got a team of people that you work with and you sort of converse with all the time, and you want to sort of bring their ideas to the table, don't you? So that's what Derek's going to be doing. I think it's going to be getting Clevs alongside and getting Foxy alongside, as you said. Getting their ideas together. Getting them to sort of think on the same page. And who knows? What's going to come from it? We don't know. It could get worse. Could get better. Hopefully, it'll get better.
Yeah, well, exactly. And Voodoo saying Derek's absolutely not going to take Cleverley's job. Definitely not. Nope. But yeah, we know Voodoo's thoughts on that. He doesn't want to see him for another 90 minutes, and I can understand, or another minute. I can understand that feeling after what we've had to witness.
Was it not vintage wine for you then, Voodoo?
It's that keeps him sane, I think. Plus me trying to advertise his brand everywhere on the podcast. Yeah, so starting with that, get everything out. We know the recruitment has been a challenge, regardless of the Tom Randall situation. But the big thing there is that they're not looking to recruit or bring in a new head of recruitment. Clearly, that's Derek Adams' job. Tom Cleverley highlighted when asked a question a couple of games ago about the difference between a head coach and a manager, and he straight away went to recruitment and how a manager's involved in that. So there possibly could have been some tensions between players that they wanted to get in and didn't get in, and who wanted this and who wanted that. But you clear the slate now, you move on. You got a new boss in charge, and hopefully he will get stuff sorted. But it was interesting that Cleverley mentioned unsettled players, Andy, didn't he? And I picked up on that, and I thought, oh, okay, that's interesting. We've not been doing great, but at the end of the day, if there's players that are unsettled, then that's going to be or add more of a problem, isn't it?
Yeah, it's any wonder why they're unsettled when you've got certain aspects of your fan base, rightly so, if airing their views at matches, especially the away matches recently, where they've been told they're not fit to wear the shirt. What sort of effects is that going to have on the player? Is it going to help them? It might give them a kick in the backside. It might have the adverse effect, and it might sort of say, well, I'm worthless, I'm rubbish anyway, so why do I bother? And you're going to get that in football everywhere. Of course you are. But when you hear it right in your face, and imagine it's like Talai and Conor Hazard might have experienced that recently as well, and having gone up to the fans and trying to sort of talk to the fans, and the fans are just giving it whatever, and they're right to do that. But keep it, keep it personal, keep it off the personal side.
Emotions run high, understandably. But I mean, just picking up some of the comments, Andy. So thanks everybody as well for joining and getting your comments in. So just going to go from what I can see top down. Shane Harris, evening, Shane. Be good to see you when we get back to home park against Northampton. Clev not feeling pressured given our situation is very strange, and I don't believe he's happy with an ex-Argyle manager for a single second. Well, I felt from that press conference, as I said, that he was quite welcoming to it. Looking at his body language, he didn't seem to want to sort of move on from the questioning. We'll see, because time will tell. Harry Vanzino says, I think Derek could be a bit of a parachute if we get another month in and still no different. They'll pull the cord. Absolutely. Andrew P. Heathman saying, if Cleverley, Adams and Fox are in effect the recruitment team for January, should Argyle still use funds to appoint another recruitment team? Look, if we're still not in a great situation, it's going to be even harder to bring any sort of decent player in unless you're having to cough up the readies to entice them that way.
I think you need to bin that idea for this season, Mike, and just go with what we've got at the minute. I think by the time you recruit someone, it's going to take another 2-3 months, maybe down the line. And by then, the January window's gone. You're looking forward to the summer then, aren't you? So keep it to what it is for now. And then maybe in the summer, look towards recruitment again. But yeah, certainly for now, you've got to keep it as it is.
I'm just laughing at CJ's comment. He's the party gamer boy. I'll see you guys on Saturday as I'm going to watch I'm a Celebrity TikTok. Dearly me, these younger generation. Paul, you need to sort him out.
Awful. Where's your loyalty these days?
Yeah, I think it's a good point, Andy, and also the decent recruiters are going to be very firmly in their roles, doing a lot of planning for January. There's going to be a lot of clubs that are going to be reluctant to let people go, certainly good people. So it's a difficult one, and to a degree, better the devil you know. Derek Adams has brought in historically some really good players, but there's always that opportunity where he can say, I know X, Y, and Z. I can get them in. They'll do a job for a period of time. And that's all. That's what we need to do, isn't it? It's to try and stabilise, get this season stable so that we can just settle things and plan a bit better. No more rushing decisions and appointing the wrong people where we just end up going backwards again. Some more of the comments. Voodoo saying the problem with the unsettled players is there won't be a long queue of clubs wanting to buy them. No, absolutely. Smithy UK, evening to you. Any predictions for the score, folks? I think I went 2-0 in our WhatsApp group, actually, 2 to Talai. I know I'm being brave. Andy, what was your immediate thoughts on the scoreline?
I'm going to go for a 1-0 win for Argyle. I'm going to get Talai to score it as well, and then go up and hush those Port Vale fans up.
Yeah, well, it could be on paper a really dross 0-0, but let's see.
It could well be.
Yeah. Let me just scroll up a bit more. So we've got Matt Montgomery saying, I think we should look to bring in experience at the back and middle from the free agency market. Elliot Moore is one naming notes there. Don't forget, you've got Cleverley coming. You've got Pleggy coming back. You've also got Benarous, who's fit again, from what Cleverley said. Obviously, Edwards is back in there. And Miechi, a few others. So Ibrahim's definitely the big loss out of all that news today. BH13611, new players brought this season, all injured. Amiechi, Benarous, Ibrahim, Patterson. What's such a letdown? Yeah, it is not their fault. I mean, it happens, isn't it? But still question, why are we seeing more injuries than we really should and ever have done? So just scrolling back up again. Dean, evening to you, Dean. No excuse for TC this Saturday against the Vale. He's had a couple of weeks off to prepare for this, so looking forward to see what happens. PTR47 earlier said, what do you think about the next 10 game comment? Yeah, I'll touch upon that in a second. Dean then also posted saying, evening gents, evening to you, Dean. Harry said, can only hope that they are still the player they were before the injury. Yeah, I think if you break something, there's always, I remember seeing that horrible one that happened to Watton in the game. Was it with his knee, wasn't it, when he jumped for that header and, just never really came back fully, did he? So for Ibrahim's first injury of his career, so that will also play on his mind a bit, and he will be out for months. So it'll be well into the new year. We'll see him back. Matt Montgomery also said earlier, going for Talai Brace in a 2-2 draw on Saturday. Peter Henwood said Talai will celebrate if he scores. He did say that. I've got his quotes as well. So yeah, just on the point that was made, PTR, about the 10 game comment. So he said he's sort of looked ahead at these next 10 games. I think that's what it is before we get into January. Correct me if I'm wrong, someone.
Yeah, I think so.
And Errington, I think it was, said, what are your predictions for that? And obviously, of course, he didn't give it away. He could well have been told, if this is what you're referring to, PT, he could be told that you've got until that point. Yeah. I need to turn this around with you, and I need you to work with me, and I'll work with you as if I'm Derek Adams, and you're going to get to January, and that could be what that refers to. But yeah, I mean, it's a big point, isn't it? Because if we're still in this situation, Andy, come January, recruitment's even harder, and it's just going to be even harder to dig yourself out of that bottom three.
Yeah, I mean, he did say he's set himself a target, but he's not going to disclose what the target was. Of those 10 games at home, 6 of them are going to be at home park, which is good.
Yes.
We've seen football at home park. Hopefully, we'll start turning around against Northampton and then get some points on the board, and then just gives us a little bit of confidence to sort of push on for another few points at home. Got to get our home form back together again, haven't we? We've lost away a bit, home and away, recently.
Yeah, well, obviously we got those two. Was it 2 or 3 back-to-back away games before that break, dreaded break, which I was actually all for, but in hindsight probably didn't want it now. But yeah, it's a spell. That's the only spell you can look at now because it is going to be busy again. And as you said, 6 games at home. It will be nice to actually get back and see some football. I've enjoyed the watch-alongs, and I'll be doing it again on Saturday. But there's nothing like getting back there and just seeing it. But you just want, come on, please, 3 points on Saturday. However you do it, just go out there and try and nick those 3 points. It won't be easy, but it's
just got to find that magic again. That magic we had against Burton in Luton Town and Stockport and teams like that, and just try to find that magic, that combination again. If you can find that combination, score a few goals, confidence will start to rise.
Yeah, evening, Steve. I see Steve just dropped in. Yeah, just mentioned that about Ibrahim.
Got his Chinese takeaway as well, Mike.
Steve's going for a 0-0. He says written all over it. Alex at Argyle says my 11 will come to the lineups. Carl and Gavin have provided those to us. He is going with Hazard, Galloway, Mitchell, Ross, Sukes, Dale, Mumba, McCabe, Boateng, Benarous, Aseni, and Talai. I'm trying to. Well, he isn't suspended, Suits, because that was the trophy game. He got his red in, and it doesn't affect the league, I believe. We're all confident of that. Voodoo just dropping in saying, I know Derek has been in touch with Jan Songo on WhatsApp this week.
One last dance, Jan.
It'll be Instagram, Voodoo. They don't do WhatsApp anymore. These players are all on Instagram. So yeah, what else have we had in? Matt Montgomery said, I'm wondering if Argyle will recall Wright and Ogbeta with the injuries. I think those deals are solid. So I think they were done without a recall. Was else I would have, to be honest with you, expected they would have been recalled before now. So I could be proven wrong, but I think they are.
He's Joe Hatch back, isn't he? But so that doesn't give me the sign that's going to bring Callum Wright back, because Callum Wright wanted out of the club, didn't he?
Yeah, and Callum Wright was getting more game time, wasn't he? So yeah, that's a good point. You would, if you were going to recall someone, you would. Of course, as well, shout out to Tegan Finn, who scored 2 goals on their game on, was it Tuesday night? So in that win,
Ben Collins is in. Evening, Ben.
Say again.
Ben Collins is in. Evening, Ben. How you doing, mate?
Oh, yeah, I can see him now. Yeah, evening, Ben. He says, I'm going on Saturday. Hopefully see a couple of goals.
Go and bring back the 3 points, Ben.
Absolutely. Would you like to take a Voodoo T-shirt with you, to add to your mug collection, Ben? This special that I'm wearing tonight. If I ask Voodoo, you might sign it as well if I send one to him. So Martin
over it.
Yeah, Martin Cawthorne says, big come down since your cup final at Luton. What else have we got in here? Simon Fort says 1-0 to Argyle. That's if we don't switch off. And Steve saying play Benarous in the 10. I'm looking forward to seeing him come back if he does. Just finishing off some of the presser bits from Cleverley. Like I said, he seemed really keen from the body language and his reaction. I mean, there's a lot of looking away from the reporters when asked about it. But I think his responses, as I said, for me, did feel like he was, really sort of welcoming of Derek Adams' appointment. It's clear, overall, Paul Burns supported their decision and their plan, I should say, of what they hope to do. I think for Paul, again, respectfully, I mean that to Paul, but with his lack of that football experience and knowledge, bringing Derek Adams in, and I said that a few weeks ago, Paul needs to appoint someone with that footballing experience, whether you agree with the appointment or not, but he needed to bring someone into a senior role to really help him. He can focus and make sure the operational side is moving as it should. But certainly from the footballing side, and I think in that meeting, he isn't going to be able to do anything other than support that team in front of him and say, I'm behind whatever you need to do. So we'll see how that pans out. Cleverley did also say, Andy, about he was umming and ahhing over how long to give the players time off after the recent games, but he decided to extend it. They only did come back to full training on Tuesday, was it, I think? So probably in the circumstances, that's not a bad thing, is it? Mitchell can get back properly with his family. Others can just go and see their family, can clear their heads and just try and reset.
Do you know what? They've just had 6 away matches on the spin as well. And is it any wonder that they need a rest? But all that travelling up and down the country, it's a heck of a way. It's 2 hours to Bristol on a coach. And further, you further up north you go, the harder it's going to be. Long days on a coach, sat on a coach, and then losing the game of football. You're mentally going to be on the floor, aren't you? So you're going to want to sort of rest those limbs a little bit, rest your mentality a little bit, and go out and see some family members. Of course, yeah, do that. And get yourself together again. Yeah.
I think Voodoo's just nailed the response to the Luton fan. So Voodoo says, we may be bottom, but we're living in Plymouth, whereas you are still living in Luton. Yeah, there we go. Some good friendly banter. I think he did say as well that the energy, the focus seems really good in training this week. He's really pleased, but then he said that every bloody presser over these last 5 away games. But he said he can see it in their eyes as a difference. I did comment in the WhatsApp group earlier whether that fear was because there's now, Derek Adams is now in charge at the top, and there's going to be a bit of, honest conversations with people if there needs to be. But look, we'll find out on Saturday, and all we want is for the players to try and get off to a good start, try and take control of the game, and even though we're away, and that first goal, if we can get that first goal, it can make all the difference again. So we'll see. PTR 47 saying about his reaction and his comments to Derek Adams' appointment, he said, trouble is he can't criticise the appointment in a press conference. He has to put on a brave face. I agree, and that was my point. He could have just kept it quite short and made it sound positive, not dwell on anything. He didn't have to, in my opinion, then say that I would welcome him actually coming in to training and watching us. I'd really take on his opinion. You could still make that look like you're receptive of the appointment by keeping it limited still. So look, I might be clutching at straws, PT, and there could be all sorts of stuff that will happen in the background that might surprise us all. But
I just think, Mike, just coming back to that, in my role, I'm a therapist, counsellor, right? But I tend to read people's body language, and I was looking at Clev's body language during that presser, right? And I was sort of thinking, yeah, he's genuine about what he's saying there, because he could have sort of glanced away from the camera, he could have made some sort of idiom that you could pick up easy as a counsellor. But I didn't see that at all today. I saw that there was a connection, and he said, 2 or 3 times there was a connection, which is good. Yeah, so I think we should trust him on that.
Yeah, I think. Well, look, I mean, at the end of the day, Voodoo's point, well-deserved holiday for the players. Yeah, no sarcasm in that comment whatsoever. But there's part of me that said I want to see those players not getting a break, getting out there and really everybody working hard on it. But I'm sure most of us have been in dark situations or troubled times, and actually sometimes you just need to take yourself out of the situation and go and do whatever you need to do, whether that's family or take a break somewhere and just try and clear your head. We've all said that there's a lot of these players that are not as bad as that league position, is showing us, and they just need to find their mojo again.
I think we all need to do that with our jobs, though, Mike, don't we? You probably need to do that sometimes as well, just to take yourself out somewhere with the kids, maybe. And I need to go out with my dog somewhere and just walk in the woods, something like that. That's my break from my norm, my job. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
get my head back together, give me headspace.
Yeah, I try and walk into work. It's about a half-hour walk from where I am, but it's all uphill up Loosely Lane on the way in. But I like it because I can put I love my music, so I can put my headphones on and either I'll listen to music or I might listen to some sort of business podcast or stories or whatever I like to listen to. There's an app called Wondery, which has got some loads of stuff for all sorts of varieties of pod shows and dramatizations. It's fantastic, and I like to listen to that. Get some inspiration of people that have been successful in what they've done before, and then it gets me motivated and clears my head, and I want to get in and attack stuff. So yeah, I do. Walking is one of the best things to do it. That's for sure. That, well, in my opinion, and clearly in yours, Andy. PTR7. This is arguably the biggest 10 games in Argyle's recent history. Yeah, absolutely. Because we can't afford to go down. Really, not with the finance situation, regardless of assets, etc. Yeah, it wouldn't be good. Season tickets, I'm sure, would fall off a cliff, and that is a lot of investment that they need each season. So the next one on the press conference, as well, I'll leave the screen up, but just to let you know, you've only got Andy and I today. Apologies for that. I mean, what
You've got the
gives?
dream team.
Yeah, Carl's working tonight. Andy, let's look at it like that. Absolutely. Carl's working tonight on his shifts. Gavin has been fevering away all day, all week, trying to get some deals sorted. So he's been on about 6 Zoom or Teams calls today, and I said to him, look, if you can get on, fine. If you don't worry about it. There's more important things. We were going to get Herbie on, but I don't think he is going to make it. He said he might get on late, but the show must go on. And as I say that, let me just find. Oh, have I got? Where's my little? I don't know where I've put it now. Is this it here? There we go. Don't forget to subscribe, folks. So I can see there's a lot of you in from YouTube tonight. So we really appreciate it. There's a lot of you in from X as well across the channels. And of course, those of you that are joining us from Facebook tonight as well, which there is one of you. So the Facebook one's a hard one. But yeah, thank you for joining. If you are on YouTube and you haven't, don't forget to subscribe. And if you're not on YouTube, and you have a YouTube account, please go in and give us a subscribe. It all helps. So Lauren Talai was the player interviewed in the presser. His thoughts on Port Vale. I really liked his interview, actually. Reunion and rivalry, as I've summed it up here. It's really exciting. I had good memories with them, with the promotion. Now I'm here and I'm happy here, which is really good. And it's 90 minutes where there won't be any friends. And I'm looking forward to that. He says, eyes on the goal. For me, it's just another game where I want to score the same as all the other games. We've not been in good form these last 5 to 6 games. We are looking forward to getting wins again. Hopefully this Saturday we can start. In terms of frustrations and focus from Talai, it's been difficult sometimes. I've been frustrated. He was quite honest, actually. If you haven't watched it, it is on YouTube, on the Argyle channel. He's been frustrated in the games. I'm trying my best to stay in the game and help the team. To help the team, I need to score goals, but they also need to give you the ball, of course. That's why he's been frustrated. We've all seen that. So I'm trying my best to do that. Team victory first. He said, I'm happy with scoring 8 goals, because Errington was talking about his record so far. But for me, I can still do more, he says. When you score and don't win the game, you are still disappointed. The most important thing is to win. And he did say, Andy, didn't he, that he would celebrate. He was asked that question. He would celebrate if he scores. He has been one of the players that has stood out. Dale, another one that's really stood out for me in these recent games, where they've tried to do something in the game. They've tried to make something of the play. They've tried to get the players going. They've shown frustration themselves. So for Talai, the bloke just needs some decent balls, doesn't he, to go on to goal, because we know that he can hit the target if he's given that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, he's crying out for service, isn't he? You look at Benarouz coming. Hopefully, Benarouz comes into the side Saturday. He's going to provide that service. You've got players running at them. From all over the place. Just give him the ball. Just give the boy the ball at his feet, and he'll find the net.
Yeah, I think, and that's it's good. I mean, he was, like I said, he was honest in that interview. So, but it's good that he's happy here. Whoever these unsettled players are, I'm surprised Cleverley sort of dropped that comment, but maybe he was calling some out to sort of step up or whatever. But yeah, so
a lot of them are unsettled, though, mate, aren't they? I think even Talai might be unsettled by what's going on at the club at the minute. It's going to be you're bottom of the league, and it's coming up towards Christmas now, and you think, crumbs, we're bottom at Christmas, we got a chance to go down. So they're going to be unsettled, I think.
Yeah, well, Mitchell's interview at the end of the game was quite telling as well, wasn't it? Where he sort of, he says like there's a risk that where effectively, we might get sent back in January. So, and he seemed quite keen to make the point that he wants to make sure that that doesn't happen. The guy obviously enjoys his football and wants to sustain that still. So positive comments from the pair of them. I think I did see a clip with Barley Mumber on Argyle TV, but I don't know what that was about. I don't think it was part of the presser. So I didn't watch that. Pointless raising it, really. But I don't know if you saw anything on that, Andy. But there was something with Mumba on Argyle TV. Back in the comments, Matt Montgomery, like to see Talai Teagan up top in a 4-4-2 with Rules to start with Boateng, with Dale and Mumba, and wingers Edwards, Mitchell, Ross, Galloway. Actually, Galloway picked up an injury in his Zimbabwe game, but Cleverley did note that he's fine. He said he took a knock to the head or something, but he's solid, as Cleverley put it. So he will get back at it. Edwards, it's going to be difficult because I think he struggled with the pace, believe it or not, in these games when he's been able to come on. But I would love to see him back firing on all four cylinders. And I think it was, I don't know who it was who said it earlier, actually, about these players coming back. They are going to need games. I agree. Yeah. But the earlier we can get them, the sooner they can get back into it and try and help get us out of this problem, isn't it? We've also got Graham Byrne, evening to you. Graham, Kelly certainly got large prospects ahead of her. Obviously, with let me go back here. The women's football, I'm guessing that one. Let me catch up because there's a lot coming in. More important than Block 9, surely not. What's that referring to? Cleverley needs to stop playing round pegs and square holes. They just need to play, Steve. Whatever the holes, they just need to find their way through them.
I think that was a reference to Kelly Brook as
Kelly
well.
Brook having a shower.
Kelly Brook was in the shower. I mean, 20 years ago, maybe, yeah. But
Andy, I just need to go make a cup of tea. If you
want I'll hold the show, Mike. Don't worry.
God, remembering that in a heyday. Still looking good though, Kelly. Benny Van Life's in as well. Good evening, Benny. Watching I'm a Celeb with subtitles and still listening to this. I mean, what is worse? I'm a Celeb or this? We've also got where are we going? That's fine. I've caught up with that one. Voodoo saying you'll celebrate if you score is interesting. Vale fans all over that one, no doubt. Yeah, nothing like rather than.
I think he came to the point and said, "Well, why wouldn't I?" He scored a goal. He's going to celebrate a goal, isn't he? So
I think it'll be a huge relief, to sort of get on the score sheet again and hopefully take the 3 points. Jack Smith saying, "Evening, Jack. When is Amici and Jack back? Mackenzie's still longer term.
Long term, yeah, it's still long term.
But Benarouz, Edwards, Amiechi, Pleggy, some of those obviously in a better state, like Benarouz and Edwards, I believe. Amiechi and Pleggy.
Rules as well. So he's back.
Yeah, Rules. Sorry. Yeah, thank you. Should be. So Pleggy and Amiechi may feature in the Northampton game, and I think the other three could well be contenders, certainly on the bench for the Vale game for sure. Alex at Argyle, Amiechi back in training, could be back next week. Mackenzie, is still months away. There we go. Thanks, Alex. And Matt Montgomery says, "Yep, Talai attitude is where and what we need to have in our team culture."
100%.
Yeah, it'd be interesting as well who he decides to choose as captain. Obviously, Hazard had a clean sheet for Northern Ireland in the week as well, so that's good for his confidence, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so.
So, what else have I got on my notes here? Right, so to the opposition in a bit more detail. I threw up a slide or two here. So, key stats, obviously, they're 22nd compared to where we are in 24th. 11 goals scored, only one home win. So, they've won 3, drawn 5, and lost 8. The average, for those that like the XG, 0.69 goals scored and 1.19 goals conceded. Resilient spells, their 5 draws indicate an ability to grind out results, ladies and gentlemen, even under pressure. Managerial experience, Darren Moore's track record of promotion shows the club's capacity to bounce back, but obviously he is under pressure. And there was rumours that he might have gone recently as well, but he's still there. Organised defence, a low scoring rate suggests a compact, organised defensive setup that can frustrate the opposition teams. That, Andy, was what Cleverley was alluding to, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The fact that they don't mind the opposition having the ball and they're very ready to nick that possession and go and attack the goal.
Yeah, I mean, we need to have that possession in the first place. I mean, I think for the last 2 or 3 games, our possession's been so low and we haven't done anything with it. It's been back to back, loft it forward, lose the ball, back to back, loft it forward, lose the ball. You've got to have that sort of consistency of playing through the thirds, through the midfield and stuff. I'm going to cough.
Struggling
Sorry,
with his
guys, I've
cold
got a
this week.
terrible cold. I'm just getting over it and I'm coughing every 10 minutes.
Yeah,
So,
you're right.
Yeah, so you just got to go at them and play your football. Keep it on the ground. You're not going to beat big luggers in the air. Keep it on the ground. Try to play through the midfield.
Are they a tall side? Does anybody know, or Andy? I've not really looked at that
They're
actually.
going to be physical. They don't come up through League Two. As chumps.
Yeah.
They're going to have something about them, aren't they?
Yeah, was a lot of the players haven't changed there, which was asked of Tulai. So he was asked if Cleverley approached him about sort of any little insights that he can share, and he just replied no comment. Of course, he would have done that, and I think Tulai's looking to open up some of those weaknesses as well if he can get the ball. That's for
I
sure.
think Cleverley was at Port Vale's last game, wasn't he?
He was correct, yeah. So he was
he
using that time wisely. Maybe he was looking for other job offers if something does happen. No, God, just want it to work. Just want it to work, please. Further weaknesses and our tactical approach. Limited attacking threat, averaging under 1 goal per game. But I tell you what, that doesn't say much for our defence recently. Defensive pressure, low scoring, but pits them under the strain despite modest concessions. Poor home form, vulnerable even on their own turf, slow starters. So that's a key one, really. You always want to, even though you're away, want us to start on the front foot and try and take the game to the opposition. We've now had, say, a couple of 10 days, give or take, break. Players have had good, decent time off, good reaction in the training. There's a better vibe around the club possibly this week, if inside the club, with Derek Adams coming in. So we've got to get out there and try and take it to them, and I think if we sit back and wait and see what they do, we might get caught out. Let's hope it's not a boring game, but whatever it is, we want to pick up the points, Andy. So
we need a real Paul Sturrock sort of game, don't we? A blood and snotters game. Just go out and try to get something from the game.
Yeah, well, and even if you're parking the bus, so to speak, heavily, I think there's opportunities there. There's opportunities for us to have a go. It would be interesting to see if we do line up a bit more defensively, but just get out there and go out there with confidence. Tactical takeaways: attack early, folks. Force them on the chase and open up the space like that. Stay defensively sharp. Guard against counters and set pieces. You got to love this AI. Utilize width and tempo. Stretch our defense and create gaps. Everything that we just not doing. Be clinical. Well, if we could ever have a shot on target, we might be able to be clinical because we have lacked. That's been just to remind everybody, sorry, but that's been one of the most shocking statistics, besides the points, obviously, that we had, what was it, 1 shot on target in these last 6 games, if you include the last home game.
Yeah, not good. Got to do better than that. You got to sort of play football. We know we can play football. We've seen it before. We've seen it against Burton. We've seen it against Luton Town. We can play football and go and get results. So what's going on with the mentality there? Where's it gone?
Yeah, exactly. I do like Graham Burns' comment. 7 of them double up at the Christmas panto, Snow White, not much height. So that's in response to my question on Port Vale. I mean, at this rate, it could be a panto for Argyle if we carry
Oh
on the
no,
way
it
we are.
can't.
So yeah, he's behind you. Who is Derek
Who
Adams?
is?
Oh, there he is. Matt Montgomery saying just need Edwards fighting experience in this title, which is where I think rules brings that respectfully to Edwards, but that experience a bit more at that higher level, and hopefully can come in and help support that. Stevie Vaughan saying, do you think Adams will have a say in team selection? I think, Andy, my view on that is in this one, I think he'll listen. I do expect that Cleverley will sit down with him and say, right, how are you going to play it out on Saturday? What are you thinking? And Adams may well say, well, have you thought about this, thought about that? I don't think he will force anything at this stage, unless he suddenly sees a red flag. Where's he gone? Oh, hang on, there he is. Let me bring him back in.
Tell me.
What
Oh, there I
happened?
am. Oh my goodness, that's
What
scary.
happened? So do you think, to Steve's point, do you think he's not going to have any influence on the lineup on Saturday, is he, this
I
early?
would have thought so, not this early. He might be sitting in the wings or even sitting alongside him and saying, this is what needs to happen. But I don't think that he can come straight in and just say, right, this is what you're going to do now, because Klebs has already been working on that and in training through the week, and hopefully Derek's been watching him as well. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So Matt Montgomery also said if Edwards is not fit, Weiradu at right back, feels Zooks has been off attitude for a while. I'm not sure he took that. He had that injury, didn't he? And I do like Zooks, and his throwing is obviously definitely better than Weiradu's, but. I'm going to give Zooks the benefit of the doubt there. I think he's just, it's just that situation. And with poor performances, I think if we can get back into it, he'll be back at his best.
He's actually better with Pleggy around him.
Well, just that. Well, and I think with Mitchell, properly, once he
Yeah.
gets back into that with Mitchell, it will strengthen things up a bit more. Matt Montgomery saying, why would you not go with Tegan Finn? He gives the energy that's been lacking. I think that was in response to someone's selection. I don't disagree. I've been a big fan of Tegan. I think if we're building this academy, we've said this many times, all of us, if we're investing in the academy, why are we then not utilising the byproduct of that, of which Tegan Finn is one of them. I was a bit, I don't mean this disrespectfully to Hatch, but I was surprised that Hatch got on in that last league game or that whatever game he came on and over Finn. And Finn not even included on the bench. I think that's a little bit odd. I mean, he scored. I haven't seen his second. I saw his first. That was shared, but he does manage to just find himself in the box. He can preempt the sort of play as well as create chances, and we know he can strike a ball from outside the box too, Andy.
Yeah, and I don't know what's going on there with Tegan, because he's got the quality. We all seen that. I just, it reminds me in some ways, and I'm not saying this is the point, of someone called Bradley Swiggs, who played for Argyle years ago. Steve might remember him. Steve Vaughan might remember him. Bradley Swiggs, great player in the reserves, brought him into the first team, and then he was in and out of the team again there. But I just think with Swiggs, it was his attitude. Whether I'm not saying that Tegan has got an attitude or anything, or whether they just want to protect him, I don't know. But there's certainly an element around it, isn't there? Why is he not playing him?
Cleverley did say in the presser, Andy, about he's obviously a highly valued young player. There's a lot of pressure that comes with that, this, that, and the other. From what I hear, it's like the lad just put him out there and stop. I said this before. Stop bringing him on as a sub when we end up being in a shit situation, i.e., we're a goal down or 2 goals down. When the confidence drains after that first goal goes in, what can someone like Tegan Finn do? He can try and make something, but then if there's no one helping and supporting him because their heads are dropped, then it's almost pointless, isn't it? So I think for me, there's could be a lot of options to choose from, but I'd love to see him start a game. A lot of these youngsters at times do have no fear. They want to get out there and prove themselves. Just pit them out in the pitch and get something going from the get go. Argyle 1983, good to see you in, mate. Hate to be negative, but I can see a 2-0 Port Vale win. We've got to kick him out, Andy, will you? God, terrible Argyle 83.
Back to Argo life now. Definitely
Yeah, definitely
all the
not.
best to Argo life tonight, by the way, at the awards ceremony.
Oh, is that tonight, is it?
Yeah, it is. Abbott Road.
Fair play. Yeah. You never know. We might make it there one day, Rodney. They haven't scored in 6 games and only 5 goals at home, but the team always seem to lose. Teams always seem to lose their run to Argyle. Please prove me wrong. Well, I think we just said 83 about their sort of their strengths and weaknesses, and I think this is probably an opportunity where Argyle can go in and steal that 3 points that we need so badly. The Soul 68. This season is turning into a circus. It's fast becoming a dysfunctional club. Well, like we just said, it is Panto season coming now. So it does feel like that. He's saying Argo 83, saying sorry, boys.
100 lines, young man, 100 lines.
Absolutely. So, right, what are we doing for time? Where's my counter? Oh, okay, we're not too bad, just shy of an hour in. So, I've got Gavin and Carl's. So they're the two that we tell. I don't do this. I could, but I just don't. It's not my thing. So Gavin sent us over his lineup and Carl sent us his. This normally sort of brings some good debate in the chat. As well. Oh, I just missed Matt's comment. My advice is just to get as many balls in and around the penalty box. Wingers to whip in from edge of box. No need to look for the perfect ball all the time. Just get it in around the penalty area and spot. Absolutely. I think there's a lot of when we've had some chances to get it in the box or anywhere near it, we've overthought the situation, haven't we? Just do something to get them fired in, and Talai, if he's there, can pit them away for us. So Gavin has gone with Hazard in goal, of course with that howler from Hammond in the Rovers game. I felt for him. I thought he had a decent game, really, and I still stand by it. His distribution is far better than Hazard's. Come at me if you disagree. And it was evident in that game again, but that was an absolute howler at the end. So Cornell Suits on the right, Alex Mitchell centre back on the right, Matthias Ross, and then Brendan Galloway is his back four. Wouldn't completely argue with that, to be fair. All the players in their sort of more probably strongest positions. Midfield, he's got Owen Dale on the left because that is where he plays, for those that think he is on the right, or should be. Followed by Law McCabe, Boateng and Jim Patterson, another one who can pit some brilliant balls in if there's people in there. And he's gone with Barley Mumba and Laurent Talai up front. So, I like, to be fair, I don't have an issue with that. I want Barley Mumba to get back into things, but he seems to still be hit and miss at the moment. What's your thoughts on Gavin's lineup, Andy?
I think, to be fair, Mike, that Voodoo's been plying him with too much wine, mate, because I wouldn't have Barley Mumba up with Talai. Definitely not.
Well, you're not his biggest fan, we do know
I'm not his biggest fan, and I don't want to sort of... It's just not got that spark from me at the minute, Bally. I'd rather have someone like Tegan Finn in there, or even Oseni for now. I don't know why.
McCabe, I think I know people are still hot and cold with McCabe, but he didn't feature in the England under-21s game because of they thought he'd done his hamstring, Cleverley said, but it wasn't that in the end, thank God.
The only other change I would make is probably at left back with Galloway. If it's going to be 4-4-2, which looks like suggestions lined up there, I'd rather have Belarus in that sort of on that left-hand side there at the back.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. I think Belarus, if he's available, I would like to see him. I still sort
You've
of
not seen the best of him yet, that's trouble.
No, and it's that QPR game, and sorry to bring it up, folks, but yeah, he did link up well with Patterson and Matey down the left. So I want to see him come back and get into it, but he has been injury prone all his career, and it just seems to be haunting us. Let me just read some of the comments. Peter Henwood said, not Argyle related, just to cheer everybody up for the Ashes. Yeah, we were talking about that just before the live, myself and Peter. I'm not a massive cricket fan. Gavin is, actually, so he misses talking about it tonight. But I absolutely love the Ashes. So I'm looking forward to when I get up at 6, being able to catch some of the game before I go into work. Or some of the match on day one. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's another good distraction if Argyle end up playing crap on Saturday, which they're not going to. Alex at Argyle says, I think BG is awful at left back. Brendan Galloway, obviously. I think Benarous or Aman, is way better in my opinion. So agreeing with Andy there. Mumba has 4 assists, are leading assisted this season. Yeah, considering that we've had 1 shot on target in these last 6 games, it doesn't say much, that stat really, does it, Steve?
Go GPT.
At the end of the day. Also, Port Vale have a former player in Ben Waine, who hasn't started a game since the 2nd of September. What does that really tell you about Ben Waine's fortune, sadly? Dropped off a cliff from a lot of promising, sort of views on him when he joined. We also got, Alex at Argyle saying, don't agree with Mumba as striker and Pato, everyone else, yes. Matt Montgomery, also, when passing, we have to be on the move, pass and move, mobility on the pass. Passing static just invites pressure. Yeah, we don't want this back along the back line again, for sure. So Carl's lineup then. So this is what Carl's gone with. So he's gone with Hazard in goal, Galloway, Ross, Mitchell, Edwards instead of Souks. So that's his back 4. Difference to Gavin's. He's put Weiradu in there just in front. Oh, that will cause some debate. McCabe, Boateng, and then he has gone, which I like, Benarous on the left, Finn on the right, with Talai up front. I don't think he gave us his reasons for that, Andy, did he? He just put it in the chat for us today to share. So 4-3-2-1. Again, that back line, it's Edwards' fitness and being such a crucial game. That's the only thing in this. But actually, start him, get the most out of him for 60 minutes maybe. Weiradu, what's your thoughts on that inclusion, Andy?
Well, he's not in the back 4, so that's good. So he's a midfielder. He's a genuine midfielder.
Close enough. He's close enough.
He is close enough. As long as he does his job as a midfielder does and goes from box to box, then I can see us playing through that sort of midfield there. You've got McCabe in there who's creative. You've got Boateng who can go on a run, and Weiradu who can find the ball. So that's all good. And then you've got your Benarous and Finn up top, doing the stuff to feed Talai. That's good. The only change Galloway is that weak. I think at the moment that weak link at the left back there. So who would you put in there? That's the question.
Well, again, he's a type of player that if everybody else is doing all right, he does tend to be okay. But when it's a struggle, he seems to make more aggravation than good. But hang on, let me just flip back to Gavin just to make sure I didn't get that wrong. No, so Gavin did have Owen Dale in. Yeah. Owen Dale for me has almost been that left back for Galloway and stuff when he's played in the last 2 games. Dale has
switch Benarous to the left back position and then have Owen Dale up front.
Or whether or not you can actually say that Dale, and don't shoot me for this, but you start left back and work with Benarous, and maybe you both can switch, and cover each other. That could be interesting. Anthony Tucker says, I think Adams back as director of football is a good thing and will bring the team together again. Yep, time will tell. Will it be a good appointment by the board this time or another flop? We shall see. We don't need another flop. Nicholas G says, evening, gents. My score's 0-0. Evening to you, Nicholas. Alex at Argyle saying, don't agree with Joe or Brendan. Weiradu, I would like to see Finn, but I don't think he will start. No, my gut instinct says he probably won't, but Cleverley could still surprise us all. What else have we got? Matt Montgomery saying, sorry, I have a text equivalent of a machine gun fire tonight. Verbal D, shutting up now. You don't have to shut up. Keep your comments coming. That's fine. No issues there at all. Yeah, so I don't. For me, Weiradu, it's a tough one because he has struggled big time. I seen spells where he's done all right, but again, it's against with a squad being confident overall. But yeah, Finn and Belarus up there, that does look tasty for me. I just hope Belarus can just really kick off these injury issues now. Jack Smith saying 2-0 to Argyle. Come on, you Greens. Peter Henwood saying just hope that Talai doesn't have a freak training ground injury. We would then be doomed. Well, yeah, he did. Actually, on that point, Andy, he did highlight that he has taken the contact sessions in training down a little, dialed it down just because it's just too risky with what's going on. But that training, the main training pitch, is the old pitch that we replaced in the summer.
Harper's Park, yeah.
So it's like, I mean, there can't be anything to do with the pitch there. I don't know. Go on.
I shouldn't think there's anything wrong with the pitch. I just think he's been playing like quite good contact training to try to get the players fired up, to go into tackles and stuff. But it's sadly coming off worse for us, isn't it? Injuries right left and centre.
Exactly. I think that will also be interesting. I mean, the thing that will clearly worry Derek Adams when he watches training is how bad the algae is on that pitch, but I think it should be okay. So we shall see, because that was one of his comments, wasn't it, in one of his defeats. But everybody has those humdingers. But yeah, I think if he sees something going on in training that doesn't sort of or concerns him as to why then we're getting a lot of injuries. Plus also not just training, but the conditioning, the fitness work, the gym work, cardio work, whatever, the sports physios, whatever they're called these days, what work they're doing.
Makes you wonder what they are doing out there, because if they're sports physios, they should be working with their hands and not some machine, Machine can gauge muscle tension and stuff like that, can it?
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine Argyle have the funds to buy advanced machines, but I've said this before. Yeah, an old friend of mine who's a sports physio, and and he said that he did some work with Birmingham at the time, and he said the same thing, that he said they were using machines thinking, oh yeah, the machine can do this and do that, but you don't have the same feeling as getting in there with your hands. She says, Your Honour. Other than that, right, what else have we got in here? So we're coming to the end now. Voodoo's saying, interesting, Derek hasn't done it. So tomorrow, thanks for reminding me, Voodoo, it is on my notes here, but I missed it. Derek Adams' first interview is coming out tomorrow from Argyle TV. Don't know when they recorded it. We might find out when it's released. We were hoping it would come out before tonight, and we did contemplate doing the show on Friday because of it, but that's fine. We can talk about it pre-kickoff on Saturday on the watch-along. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he has to say. I did expect that he might show up in the presser, but I suppose the focus he will see it as is still on Cleverley and the boys. Don't try and suddenly have all the limelight on me.
Yeah,
I'd be
that's
right in there.
That's good stuff by Argyle. That was doing that, letting Tom have his say.
Yeah, if that is the case. So speaking of shows, the watch along. I had a bit of a play with the graphics the other night. Do you like my football TV, Andy?
Mate.
Yeah, I mean, you never know, Voodoo. That could be another piece of merchandise that could be coming to a Block 9 shop near you.
Does it show EastEnders on it or stuff like that? I'm a Celebrity.
No, it just Discovery Channel, History Channel, and Sports. There you go.
Okay.
That's my cup of tea.
I like it.
So yeah, obviously the watch along. So it is an early kickoff on Saturday. So join. I'll be live about. I think I've scheduled it in for 12:10. So we'll be coming in at that point, and then we'll discuss the game. We'll discuss the Derek Adams interview, and then obviously get into the game. So I'm looking forward to that, to be honest. So that will be on Saturday, and then of course, Andy, you're with us Saturday night, aren't you?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope to be. I should be. I can't see any other reason why I can't be at the moment.
So the post-match analysis, I think Carl is free and is back, and Gavin, I'm sure, will be too. So that will be at 8:30, our usual slot. So for those that are new to us, Thursday's 8:30, Saturday's 8:30. At least there's a bit more of a gap with it being an early kickoff. So we'll see if we can get the likes of maybe Harvey and even Herbie, who I think will both be going to the game. So get either both of them on or one of them to give us their thoughts. positive, hopefully. We'll get Harvey's post-match video regardless as well. So that's what will be happening this weekend. Other than that, I'm trying to think, is there anything else, Andy, we need to bring up?
I can't think of anything else at the minute. Anyone score predictions in the comment section?
Yeah, there's been a few we've had. I'll just check in on the game. It's now 3-0 to Peterborough United. So that
You
does
always knew
seem...
they were going to hit some form at some stage. I think we're going to hit some form at some stage as well. So
Well, you got to bloody hope so, haven't you?
yeah.
So we will go joint with them if when we win. When we win on Saturday, they've jumped up to 21st. Exeter are obviously their games. I find that a bit strange. I mean, surely you just close off that away end. It didn't affect the building structure in any way, did it, Andy?
Don't think it did. No, it destroyed their paint pots and all that sort of stuff in there, and all those chemicals they had in that shed, whatever it was.
But I just don't. I haven't seen the detail of it, but I just found it a bit strange that the away end that was affected has then meant that the game can't go ahead. You just create a section in the home end, surely, or you just say sorry, can't have anybody there. Find that a bit strange. And obviously, well, they are they're in a bit of a financial mess as well. So
inside job, mate.
Yeah, whether or not the old insurance, we want a few quid for repairing that. They'll need that, that's for sure. Voodoo, going 2-1 with his score prediction there. Stevie Vaughan, as he said earlier, 0-0. What else have we got here? So it's Blackpool who are in 22nd, Port Vale in 23rd. So it is bottom clash now as a result of Peterborough getting that win. God, dearie me. So what is it? Loss, draw, us, and then Port Vale, drawn, loss, drawn. So, yeah, interesting times. What has Matt said? He did come straight back in with a comment earlier as well after he was going to go quiet. Anyone think Wiradoo could be useful sitting in behind Talai? Oh, wow. Sitting behind Talai and Tegan. He has the strength on the ball to link the front two. Your thoughts? Well, now there's no Ibrahim there. Watt's obviously still out until the new year. I don't know. What do you think to that, Andy? There's one to end the show.
Amici could drop into that role at some stage.
Yeah, true.
Jump into that role. Tegan Fink could jump into that role.
I wanted some big changes, but then we all do moan that Cleverley keeps changing it too much on each game, so I don't know what to expect, to be fair, Matt. Graham Brown saying, who had that curry in the Argyle Portaloos? So, God,
it might have been a Vindaloo, to be fair.
Deary me. You and Carl with your jokes and the
Vindaloo. Come on, Graham. Come on.
Well, it does remind me, Andy. I mean, I'm surprised the club didn't add to their statement that they put out. I think they put out a statement. But, these things are a serious situation because that could adversely affect the player budget spend in January.
Terrible.
Flushed
it all down the toilet, couldn't they?
No, but what? Just random. I mean, seriously, whoever's got more time on their hands than going and trying to set some Portaloos on fire. What else have we got? Peter Henwood, Posh's change of manager has worked. Well, there is that. Yeah, good point, actually, to bring up Peter. There is that. That does happen. And you never know. And Voodoo will be going... It's coming. Could it still happen to us? But we want to turn it around. It's no good for the club to have more disruption. Look, other than that, it's been a nice, busy week to take mind off things Argyle related and not be standing there watching all these games, doing a watch along that we've now lost. So maybe it's fifth time lucky for me on those. Be excited to get back into it. Good to get back on tonight to get the feeling, the vibe going again, Andy. Hopefully you get rid of your flu bug fully come Saturday.
Yeah, I hope so.
Can't say Argyle won't pick you back in afterwards, depending on the result. But any final thoughts? Any final thoughts from yourself?
No, I just hope we have a good start to the game Saturday. We've already said that Port Vale are vulnerable, so go and get the first goal. That's all you got to do. Go and get the first goal and hear what the crowd, what the crowd are going to do to them, like Peterborough did to us. When they got their goal, what happened to the fans then? It turned on them, didn't they? So, go and get the first goal. Have a go at it. Get your best shot.
Exactly. Matt Montgomery saying, on a separate note, yet still Argyle related, it doesn't always have to be. You can slip the odd random thing in there. He visited Folkestone Park today. Staff extremely helpful and supportive. Work as a community support worker and one of the best centres services in the city. I had a coffee there with Gavin. He doesn't live too far from it, and it's the first time I'd been. It was a few months ago, and I was really impressed with it. I didn't know there was a soft play area and all that sort of stuff. You have to book it, I think. You can't just turn up, if I've got that right. But yeah, I was quite impressed with the place, to be fair. So it looks pretty good. Infrastructure and all that. That those people.
Brilliant. I love the
word.
infrastructure. It's good for the future of the club, mate.
Yeah, so you gotta talk positively about these things as well. Well done, Matt, for pointing that out. And he is ending with a 2-2 draw on Saturday. I can't. With the team's not scoring many between them. I don't know if I can see that. I'm still going to go 2-0. Sod it. Still going to go 2-0. So, folks, thank you for keeping Andy and I company tonight. And we appreciate that. Like I said, please make sure you follow, subscribe, and all that jazz. We'll catch you back on Saturday. I'll see you for the watch along. Hopefully, it's a positive one this time. But other than that, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Hopefully, this cold weather does turn for the weekend for those travelling up. But other than that, keep warm, stay safe, and we'll see you next time.
Take care, guys.